a happy holiday. Hello everybody and welcome to this amazing game of Dead by Daylight. Yesterday was the Game Awards and Behavior had a big announcement, and that announcement was dedicated servers. That's right, we're finally getting the much asked for dedicated servers all the way in summer of 2019. I know it sucks to have to wait, but this news is big and it is a drastic change for Behavior, as this requires a hefty amount of work to recode the game to handle the dedicated servers. So what does this all mean? Well, dedicated servers remove the killers from being host and allow Behavior to host the games instead, allowing for a more even field for both sides. If a killer has terrible connection, survivors will no longer suffer. However, if anything goes wrong with the servers for Dead by Daylight, then we'll all be in a bit of trouble. But from what I understand, dedicated servers are just an objectively better way to handle online games than peer-to-peer, and it'll just increase the experience to be a bit more positive, especially when it comes to the connectivity of the game. We were also given a sneak peek at the updates to Legion before their actual release. Legion gets a reduced vault distance, preventing survivors from sneaking behind them and going back through the pallet or window. Double stun effect for hitting a survivor already affected by deep wounds is removed, and the lunge distance of the Legion was increased to match other killers' lunge range. Deep Wound got a few changes as well. Mending makes sound, the progress of mending is no longer saved, so it must be done in one sitting. The bleed out timer for deep wounds will now continue to decrease even while mending, but will not reach 0, so it'll stop at 1% for as long as you're mending. And Doctor got nerfed. Wait, what? So Doctor apparently also lost a bit of his presence, as the snap out of it no longer is considered a healing action. Oof. This isn't a change to directly nerf the Doctor. Unfortunately, the side effects of making this change are going to make the Doctor even weaker than he already is, but the purpose of this is just to make the terminology across the board even and make sense. And any good video game, card game, any game, just the rules and the terminology of everything within the game makes sense and is even across the board. So essentially they're trying to make mending, wake up, and snap out of it not healing, and separate it from the idea that they count as healing. They are their own actions. Now, why they're doing this, I'm not exactly sure. Maybe they intend to make some future changes to implement speeds to these other actions that might be categorized as something other than healing, but that is why I believe that they would have done this. Now you'll notice that I said wake up and did not mention Freddy getting a nerf. I do not believe that healing actions even affected wake up anyways. I've never had a mangled stop me from waking someone up, or my botany has never increased the speed, and if there was something that did affect it, I'm not aware of it, so do correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe this is a nerf to Freddy, because, well, it just was never affected anyways. I think they're just, like I said, being very clear on terminology, saying that wake up is definitely not going to be healing, snap out of it is definitely changing from healing to not, and mending will not count as healing. Overall, these changes are very lackluster for Legion. I don't see them being a decent killer yet. This does mirror the Spirit's progression to viability though. Like I said, Spirit did get 3 separate buffs, all in which gave them band-aids along the way that eventually made her very viable as a killer, and I'm hoping to see the same thing happens with Legion here. This is just the first step. A lot of us are probably hoping for a change of movement speed to 115%, as that was the rumor going around. I saw some rumors that McLean was working on that. Hopefully it was the idea. Nothing was concrete in terms of that being an idea, but a lot of us are going to be upset to know that so far, no, he did not get a movement speed buff, and unfortunately, if they continue to make him more powerful in another department such as his power, then they won't need to give him the movement speed, or giving him the movement speed will push him too far into the other side of the power spectrum, from weak to way too powerful. And I don't really ever advocate for a killer that is unstoppable, but I do advocate for a killer who has a fair chance, and I don't think Legion has that fair chance yet, but I'll hope we get there soon. If you haven't seen my prior video to Legion being what I call unfixable, then I'll link that down below. It essentially covers anything I could reiterate here on how I feel about Legion's current state, as I still believe that video to be very accurate in terms of how I feel with these changes. That wraps up this small bit of news I have for this event. Hopefully you're all excited for dedicated servers and can wait the time patiently, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you all for watching, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and as always, good game.